Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Charlee Wilson, the co-founder of Counter, a financial tech startup that is refreshing the financial sector in the disability space. Charlee, welcome to Founders Future.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Ammar. I so appreciate it. I'm excited to be here. Like many entrepreneurs, I wear a lot of hats in the sense that I have a deep curiosity that drives me into multiple ventures at once. Aside from Counter, one of my current pursuits is Thunder Horse Outfitters. It's a company I co-own with my husband, and we've had the honor of being featured in Nat Geo Wild, Travel and Leisure. And we specialize in wilderness survival courses, outfitting excursions. We're right outside Austin, Texas at Reveille Peak Ranch. And then we also relocate up to Rocky Mountain National Park in the summers. And then I'm also, aside from Counter, I'm an agent for Equistaff, and that's an equestrian recruiting service that's been staffing everything from stables to C-suite position roles since 1982. But recently, I've really been focused on Counter, which is, like you mentioned, a financial tech startup. And we focus specifically on the disability sector in the United States. So we're building financial tools and systems to empower a segment of the population that's been historically underserved and overlooked by traditional models. And my team and I are creating products to better people's lives, and we're creating an ecosystem where their stories can be heard. And just, it's really a unique opportunity to create a community that changes like the face of health and wellness, whether when people think that they think like physical health and wellness, but financial well-being, physical health, mental health, that all kind of ties in, right? If you're stressed out about money and things like that, like everything kind of domino effects after when you're stressed out about things like that. It's definitely one of my like more meaningful challenges that I've taken to date, other than the other things. Like I could talk about the other businesses that I'm involved in for like hours on end, but definitely want to specifically focus on Counter for the purpose of this podcast. And without my wonderful team right now, they're in Milwaukee at Summerfest Tech Pitch Fest. It's Cameron Brown, Kaylin Maynor, and Jabari Ash. And like I said, they're currently in my home state of Wisconsin. I'm super proud of them. We were selected as one of 4 businesses that are presenting there. Wow. And then later in July, we'll be putting on a Well Fest event in Newark, New Jersey with our partners, Northwestern Mutual Future Ventures and the New Jersey Economic Development. And so if you want to come see us at the end of July, that's where we'll be. And then we'll also, if you want to come see us in person, we'll be in Vegas at the middle of October for the InsurTech conference. If anyone's listening to this, they want to come meet us in person, that's where you'll find us over the next few months. But yeah, the idea for Counter was born out of struggle and necessity. Our co-founder, Cameron, and as our team leader and our teammate, he was faced with a tremendous, awful hurdle in 2021 when he lost the ability to walk. So this was his first run-in with like how broken the disability system is in our country, and it inspired him to create Counter. So what Counter is a platform that sits at the intersection of insurance, financial wellness, and leave management. And our core mission is to eliminate the financial black hole people can fall into and making the word disability or insurance less scary. And if someone's forced to take disability or medical leave, especially during the waiting periods when, the income stops, but the bills don't, that can be like a really scary time for people. And a shocking statistic I'd like to share is 70% of initial claims get denied when you apply just through SSDI. And if that happens, you get stuck in this like super slow bureaucratic appeals process that can take months or even years to get approved. And it's especially hard on those people who are already dealing with serious health issues or are already in a financial bind. And another avenue you can use is disability lawyers, but often they charge up to 25% of back pay, which can be thousands of dollars. And that puts help out of reach for a lot of folks. So that's where Counter comes in. So basically, in a nutshell, we're a tech plus human support company. And we're super proud of our CTO, Kaylin Maynor. He built our own internal algorithm. So it's like a machine learning algorithm that uses random forest models. And I don't claim to know how to explain all of that. I just know Kaylin's worked very hard at it. It's not built on ChatGPT. It's completely something we've built ourselves in-house. And it basically helps people file disability claims more effectively. We walk you through the process in plain English. We help gather the right documents, and we make sure everything's submitted correctly. And our pricing is way more affordable than 25% of your back pay. And a lot of people, a big misconception, like we were talking about before we started rolling, Ammar, is that 2 million Americans apply for disability a year. And a lot of people think disability insurance, like through Northwestern Mutual or what have you, will solve that issue, but that's not the case, unfortunately. Insurance often leaves massive flow gaps due to the waiting periods and denied claims. So we're just solving that missing piece.
Awesome. Thank you so much for breaking that down. You already answered a lot of my initial questions, so I appreciate that. I'd love to dive deeper into the platform itself, but more so the business model around it, because we have a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs that do this. So with Counter, walk me through. It sounds like your ideal customer is somebody who is looking to make some sort of disability claim. Please add to that and omit whatever I got wrong. And then from there, walk us through, how do you monetize? Where does the revenue stream come from? And you said the pricing is a lot more affordable than the 25% of back pay. So I would love to dive into that a little bit further as well.
Yeah, definitely. So like when you're thinking like who's our customer, like the go-to-market channels, if you will, we're for the business-minded folk, we're B2B2C through insurance brokers or financial advisors who are already serving like employer groups. And so basically the brokers integrate Counter into the employer benefit offerings as like a standalone solution or a supplemental like financial safeguard alongside if someone can get like a traditional short-term disability or FMLA benefits. And then we also have like direct to consumer. So like individual sign up, particularly right now, we're focusing on like gig workers or contractors, freelancers, people that may not have an HR department or anything like that, or have access to those types of resources. One of my projects that I'm working on the side, because I work on a lot of like looking forward and like our future products, is equestrian disabilities. So the people that you see walking the horses to the racetrack and putting them in the gate, or for people who are a little bit more into the sport, the grooms that are braiding the horses and stuff like that, they put themselves at physical risk every single day dealing with a 1,500-pound animal that has a mind of its own. So, or if you think of like an Uber driver, or like I just mentioned, a contractor. So essentially, we have a platform that you pay a small monthly fee. You get access to a lot of discounts and fun benefits from our partners, whether that be Uber or Netflix or something like that. And then essentially with that small monthly payment, it rolls you into our service so that once you, or if hopefully you don't need to file for disability, but if you are already struggling with filing for it, we have that monthly fee. It's not more than $15. And then also once you're paid out, we would take, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, $15 a month is what people are paying for Counter.
Yes. Yep. And then, so that's, and that, oh yeah, no, it's very excellent. We're doing this as like a people first thing. Like we're not greedy. We're not trying to, Cameron really felt it like when he, I don't know, went through that awful life stage and stuff like that. But it's, yeah, personal experience for sure. Like we want to help people. We don't want to charge too much. And the lawyers, also lawyers can use this product too, that are already fighting disability. It'll help them organize things. It'll streamline the process. If they unfortunately want to charge more than what we're charging them, we can't control that obviously. But so once you have your disability payout, then we wouldn't take more than, it would be like $100 to $400 a person. So if you're getting like a $50,000 claim out or something like that, we would not be taking that much of it. There are some certain kind of contingent changes that are being worked out where if it is a longer fight process, the price may rise a bit, but it's like a unique driver in the sense that we want to make sure that anybody can have at least access to this to get the ball rolling and get their application in, as well as offering some financial guidance. I have a Northwestern Mutual rep down in Ocala who works with my equestrian clients, where if they want to learn more about financial literacy or retirement or investing and things like that, we're like a dragon with 10 heads. We're trying to envelop the whole market on how, just to help people learn how to save, help with the disability claims, and then also get installed into a huge mechanism that already exists, or an industry that already exists, which is insurance or disability insurance, or a big institution like Northwestern Mutual, and how we can speed up those claims and get people their money faster.
Wow, that's super powerful. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like to me, obviously the goal is social impact over profit, which it sounds like you guys are doing right now. B, you're being very strategic because you're going to the providers that could bring you a lot of customers all at once instead of trying to go to each individual person. And that's really where the scale comes in, is installing yourself in the insurance realm and whatnot. Is it still going to be like the same price for each person in the disability insurance, or how would that work?
So it depending on installing us with the bigger establishments. So like we can do like initial broker education and demo. The
Got it.
broker introduces counter to the employers. Employer signs agreement, blah, blah, blah. Enrollment opens. So there are different tiers
Cool.
and they are vast. So I can't touch on them too much right now just because it's so per account. We want to make sure that, like you said, it's person over profits, whether we're working with a broker and installing it to those bigger establishments that can get us clients faster. That's wonderful. You know what I mean? We have a goal that we want to hit, but we also want to deal with like smaller municipalities like in Texas and Austin where Cameron and I live. We're working with a smaller chamber of commerce that has a very big like retired veteran population. So we'll be working with them and getting veterans rolled onto here and signed up and stuff like that. So we want those bigger accounts, but we also think you can make more of a splash with the one-on-one stories and stuff like that. If it really works for somebody, they're going to tell everybody they know. And I
Yeah.
think there is a little bit of a bottleneck on us because like broker education, onboarding time, or like how you and I were talking right before we started rolling, just creating an awareness of it and stuff like that. Because even when I talk to like HR professionals or teams, they're just like, what? We're like a weird niche plugin, if you will, like a little app. We have an app, but we're a strange building block on a really big system that already exists. And I think a lot of people, like I said, Americans don't think about these things. It's just not how we're like socially set up mentally. That'll never happen to us. It is hard to educate people on it, but I think once you understand it, you're like, whoa, that's cool because oh my gosh, if disability covers you, even if you're at the bar or something, or it doesn't matter if you're riding a horse or got hurt when workers' comp runs out, like it really is for everybody.
Yeah, that's huge. And you make a great point. Like on the surface, I didn't really get it, but when you explain it, it makes a lot more sense. And then it also is huge with all the statistics that you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, massive need for this. So I'm super curious when it comes to customer acquisition and enrolling more people into your platform, into your app. What is the thought process there? Maybe stuff that you're doing currently, but also future plans of expansion.
Right now, we want to keep it really simple. And I know that's why I'm in charge of the future product, is because I'm always like thinking like 5 years ahead. So right now, very simple, just the disability sign up, maybe some financial education, getting people on there, understanding that it's like life insurance. Like you want to have this. It's like car insurance or something like that. Like you don't want to need it and not have it. You'd rather have it and not need
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It can really screw up your entire life if you don't, knock on wood. So getting people on there, but also expanding in the sense where we want to create more pet and equine products and stuff like that and start to roll through other like insurance industries and helping them like with what Kaylin created, like really speed up the claim time, speed up and clean up the claims process and things like that. And aside from just disability, how can we move into other genres of insurance and stuff like that and just really just make it easier for the customer and for the consumer. They're like, for instance, pet insurance. There's all this red tape and all this back and forth with the claims representative or the veterinarian. You're paying $120 a month. Why can't Fluffy get his ACL fixed? And they have all these pre-existing conditions and things like that. We don't want, when people think counter or people think insurance, we don't want them to like shirk at it. Oh, that's a ripoff, with how insurance can come across sometimes. So really just getting counter or our thought process or our brand, if you will, whatever it morphs into over time, to make it fair. And if you're paying something, you should be able to get something out of it without so many weird, like just stipulations and things like that. If you're paying $120 a month to insure a dog, you should be able to use the insurance without them nitpicking vet records and things like that. Like I've worked for really large pet insurance companies in my life, and it's really heartbreaking when someone's paying that much money and then they don't get to use their coverage and stuff like that. So in the future, we're going to be applying our disability mindset to just other sectors of insurance, essentially.
yeah. That's awesome. I didn't even know that pet insurance was a thing. We just found that out 30 seconds ago.
Oh, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I meant so more around the marketing aspect. Is the idea to go to different conferences and get the word out? Is it reaching, what does that actually practically look like? Just cold
Oh, okay, sure.
calling?
Sorry if I
Yeah,
misunderstood that.
all good.
So I guess right now, and I guess if you're using it as like advice to other business owners, utilizing social media, SEO, targeting our customer, going to the Chamber of Commerce, Cameron and I in the beginning would go sit outside of the disability office in Austin and stuff like that and put flyers on people's cars and just really targeting the people who need our help and stuff like that, whether that be like physically talking to them in person or utilizing social media and our marketing team to find them online, as well as our partners are working to bring up lead generation for us within like employer rollouts and stuff like that. So through the bigger partners that are already established and don't have as much risk as us, and then also just utilizing like organic growth, we can operate. Our team operates really lean. We're all in it together. So right now, my advice would be for other founders is if you can operate really lean in the beginning to grow fast without selling too much of your company off, I think that is really the way to go. I know everyone says that and it's, oh, okay, easier said than done. Totally agree. We definitely have had some hiccups and stuff like that. We're not perfect, but I think that's really the way to go because then you can dump your resources into things like marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah, great point. I'm curious, at this stage in the company, what do you feel is the biggest challenge you're facing right now? Slash, what do you guys need the most help with? That way, if somebody's listening to this and they want to support the cause, they can reach out and aid in some way.
I think just awareness and broker education. I know I touched on that before, but just educating people on what it is. Like if someone wanted, I guess that's what's choking us a little bit is just, or as we call it, bottlenecks to growth, as a lot of people do. It's onboarding time, awareness, the speed of partner implementation in technology and integration and stuff like that. I feel like I could talk like that for a long time about what's slowing us down. But like I said, we don't want to lose a lot of ownership in the company. So we will just organically grow instead of selling off parts of it and stuff like that. I guess top priorities to get over those hurdles would be like deeper broker penetration, focus on school districts, municipalities, mid-size employers, so we can maybe canvas quicker and explain quicker and make like a direct impact more quickly. And then also, I don't know, if we had unlimited resources, we would probably hire like a fully dedicated broker success team to help them and build out embedded APIs or pay things of that nature, maybe launch a national employer awareness campaign. These are all things we talk about, but we're almost there. We'll probably be there in December. We'll be doing like a national employer awareness campaign. It's just we only started working on this like a year and a half ago. So we are growing exponentially quick for how young we are. But really, we just need to acquire key talent, maybe to help manage those things and partnerships and just different growth channels, essentially.
Yeah. I'm curious for you, like personally for Charlee, if you were talking to a new entrepreneur and they were coming to you and they're like, hey, we're thinking about starting some sort of tech startup, and I would love your advice based off of the experience that you've gathered so far. I know this is a very general question, but generally speaking, what would that be?
Don't quit your day job right away. Please don't do that. I think, man, that's a whole other podcast. I guess find a team. It's hard to suss out the people that are not like covert narcissists and things like that. Back when I first started, I started with storefronts. I did like a juice bar when I was younger and stuff like that. And I had to sue my manager because he like did copyright infringement and intellectual property infringement and stuff like that. Always have NDAs and non-competes and stuff like that. And the people that are truly with you don't mind signing those things. And I think with tech, that's very big because it's hard when you're pitching to investors, like they can't sign that. So like your core team has to make sure that they're not going to split off and backstab each other. And I really think people advise against it, but work with your friends. If they are truly your friends and they're intelligent enough, and I don't mean that in the IQ sense always. Thank you, Kaylin, for your IQ. Find people that you can really be around a lot and you guys don't annoy each other. I could talk to Cameron, Kaylin, and Jabari. I could yap to them for hours. And so you just have to find people that like are not in their core nature like bad people. And I know that sounds funny and that's not directly related to, okay, Charlee, like how do I improve my sales? I'm talking strictly who's got your back on the 11th hour and stuff like that. Like not so much what your KPIs are and stuff like that. It's really about who's on your team and if they're like really with you in it. And that's where we talk about operating lean and stuff like that. It's just like who really has your back when, you know, the dice is down and you're rolling it and it seems a little dark. And if you can pull each other through, you can really make some good things happen. It's just you have to find the right team to do that.
100%. I think that's great advice because the sales process, the KPIs, all the little nuances, they iterate over time. You change that over time and you figure it out as you go. But
Yeah.
if you don't have the right people around you, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
It's
you're toast.
yeah.
They steal your energy. Like it's you're gonna be talking to them a lot if it's a true entrepreneurship team. So you better get used to. You better be a little bit of friends first. And some people might want to be friends then business partners. And some people see how you operate in business and think, oh yeah, you're a good person. Then I'll be friends with you. All four of us operate in a little bit different way. So it's you also need you can listen to a million podcasts and a million people giving you advice, but you also unfortunately we can't bubble wrap you like you're gonna mess up. And it's okay to mess up and learn. I've messed up plenty, you know what I mean? But as long as you learn from it and don't let it get you down, which again sounds like, you know, something that's in a fortune cookie, but we can give you as much advice as humanly possible, but you're gonna have to like go out there and learn it on your own.
Yeah. What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Me personally, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Counter. You can reach out to us at info@Counter. You could go to counterfin.com. We're all readily available on LinkedIn if you want to speak to any of us. We will be taking interns on for the tech portion under Kaylin here and probably in the next like 6 to 8 months. So if you're interested in something like that to add to your resume, we're very much into we're not going to pull the ladder up behind us. We want to help other people. There's room for everybody. It's like manifesting. There's trillions of dollars in the world, right? Or in the universe, if you speak that way. It's just if you can channel it to yourself. So it's not about, whoa, Jeffrey Bezos has a big share of that. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to be pulling the ladder up. So if you want to reach out to any of us, we are readily available. LinkedIn is a good one for sure.
I love that. Charlie, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you so much for having me. Hopefully we get to chat again soon.
100%. So that wraps up another insightful episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to go to counterfin.com. And if you are a business owner and you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.